All right, welcome back to Mill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry, and I don't know how many of you watched part one where the possible red cedar turned into a white cedar. Now we have a definite red cedar up on here, a juniper, as opposed to the arborvitae white cedar that we milled on the previous video. And we need to slab this out into 2-inch thick slabs for a specific customer. I think I'm out at like $3 a board foot on this stuff. I am going to go up after this. Just this particular customer's bought other stuff from me before, and I like them. So we are going to slab this out into 2-inch slabs. I've got a brand new Stelicut band on there that's only gone through that little 6-foot white cedar. If you didn't watch that video, I don't even know if it's ever going to make it up, so I'm not going to say watch it, but it would be the video just before this one if it does end up making it up. All it ended up doing was being thrown into a cant and tossed off the mill so we could get to milling what we need to mill, which is red cedar. So it's a little bit of a funky log. I'll give you a look at it in a second. It's at its widest point here, it's about 23. They wanted something about 18. Looks like we're going to have 18 easy on this. They only wanted, or their choice was about 5-foot slabs, which is about that much of this fat section down here. However, because of the cost of cedar logs, I'm just going to have to charge them for the log. So I'm going to slab the whole thing out. Sometimes, if this log was super tapered, I would have cut it so I could save on the width. Because what happens when it's super tapered, you know, it might be 20 inches down here and 12 inches down there, and that would be stupid. So if I cut it off at 5 feet, it might be 20 and 16. That makes a lot more sense. But in this case, this log's pretty wide down there too, so I'm not losing anything. They're going to get most of what they want out of this one section here anyway. They're just looking for cedar slabs. It's not really a specific use. So I'm going to throw my Mechanix gloves on that I'm testing out for Mechanix. Another pair of prototype gloves. Not crazy about them, but I'll show you them later. And we're going to take the top off this. We'll get it flipped over. We'll slab it out. We'll see how they come out. The reason that I turned it into 2 videos is because once we get milling red cedar, everybody's going to want to watch. And when I had the white cedar up there, nobody would want to see the transition. So that's why I started a new video. So let's start milling some red cedar. The Stelicut band cut the white cedar like it wasn't even there. I think most of my slabs, actually you can see some of the white cedar up there. It's pretty. And you can see the red in the center, which is what fooled me. I thought it might have been a western red or possibly just really faded, but it's not. It's a straight up white cedar. The cant is sitting over on the pile over there. Just happened to be 6 feet long, so it was perfect for them. But well, let's go ahead and get to milling this thing. We'll make some real nice, pretty red dust. It's going to smell great out here. Everybody in the world's going to think it's cool. And whatever this customer doesn't take, I'll put on Facebook Marketplace, and they will sell in 7 seconds, which is what cedar does. So top cut, I'm going to try to go at this in pieces here because I think I might. The thing about cedar is you can sell everything, even the slab cuts, everything. People take them. So I need to be careful about how I mill this because I'll be able to sell everything in this log. I want to get kind of to this point here. I can check it with the mill. Maybe somewhere around 12 inches up right here, and just skim this top off and then come down and take a board off it, see what it looks like. It's hard to tell what the inclusion is going to be like. Milling cedar sucks. People love it, but I hate it. Trying to turn it into boards is a nightmare because the inclusions and everything. So I'm going to try to come up. I don't know if you guys can see this stick right here, but there's a branch right here. I want to get just under this branch and skim that top off, and then probably make another skim cut. Oh, it's a big old rock. You hear that? Make another skim cut, get a flat, flip it over. As soon as I get a flat, I'm going to flip it over and just mill it into 2-inch slabs. So let's try it. We'll see how it goes. I'll show you the wood when it looks cool, and we'll keep trying out these Mechanix gloves. But this pair is not for me. I'll tell you why later. So I'm at 12 inches now. That's just under that branch. I think I'm just going to take it right there. Now believe me when I tell you, this piece right here will sell. This will sell here. So that's why you keep all the red cedar, and you make sure that you store it red down so when they look at it, it's not all grayed out. But this is it. That's going to be a cool piece for somebody. So we're at 12. We'll probably just drop it down to 11. Take another slab cut and then flip it over. Or a flitch cut, so to speak. I can tell you that when you do mill cedar, for the most part, unless you do it all the time, you don't edge this. Leave it just like this. This is what people want. This is gorgeous wood right here. Probably gonna just flip it over right now. I want to get this covered up too. I don't want it bleaching out in the sun. I'll throw the white cedar on top of it. I know you can't see me right now, but trust me, all I'm doing is covering it up. So let's flip it over, and we'll slab this whole thing out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wood. It's perfect, exactly what they want. And I think the thickness is going to be about exactly what they want. I mean, the width is going to be exactly what they want. So looks like this one's going to be a home run and work out the way we want it to. That'll look okay. Try not to roll it off the mill. And if you do this, make sure that you don't get your hands in between the log and the bump. Trust me on that. Okay. So we're going to end up getting our stops down somewhere near the bottom. One of the problems is that with these bumps on this log, it kind of needs to go that way. So we're going to use, let me just shut my mill off real quick. This is important. I'll show you something that's really important about a Norwood mill. In case I could slide this down and solve me from having to do this. However, I think it's important. This is a big plus to a Norwood mill. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So if you look down this log right now, it's obviously way on this side. It's got this branch sticking out down there, which is going to get close to interfering. We want to get it in the middle. I want to move this over to the middle. What you can do on a Norwood mill that you can't do on every mill, get you angled down a little bit, is that I can shove this piece over to the middle like this. So I got about equal amount sticking off both sides here. And then I can move my stop over to the log. And this, I can't say it enough. I can't tell you how much I think that this is absolutely a home run for Norwood. I don't know why Norwood doesn't push it enough. I need to push this more. This is a great, great option. So now I can move this over to the log, tighten it back down. I'm down nice and low, so I'm not going to hit it when I take my final 2-inch slab off this. Oh, one of my brushes buried. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to make sure we're kind of in the middle, which right now we are. but I have about 4 inches over here. And instead of having to run a backer board here, I can just drop this thing all the way down, slide it over till it hits, tighten it down. Now my log's in the middle. I've got stops. And when I'm running these normal, I use the speed square to set them. I set it on the rail so that they're the same distance from the rail over, because these mounts get all bent up and stuff. And I set them 7 inches over on the speed square from the outside of the rail so that they're all the same. And that makes it so that I clear this angle right here. Hopefully you can see that. But right now we're right dead in the middle. We're held nice and solid. I can go ahead and dog it down, and I can just slab this out. I'll end up putting it on like 2-inch scale, slab them all into 2-inch slabs. And as we say, Bob's your uncle. The only one that I'll have to be careful of is my bottom cut, that I clear my clamps. I'm going to have to clamp it up kind of high to get started here. It's tough. One reason why these mills are not made for slabbing is I got a messed up keeper ring here. These mills are not made for slabbing because it's really hard to hold on to something that's not square on the sides. So that all looks good. I'm going to end up starting up about somewhere around 11 inches on my top cut. Every single piece that comes out of this log will get sold out of my pile over there. So I don't care if I get a couple of chunks, little chunks, stuff like that. It'll all get sold. So I want to be on 2-inch scale. So let's just go to a number. 2, 4 1/8, 6 1/4, 8 3/8. So that's closest to me. So I'll just go to 8 3/8. Actually, I'm already on 2-inch scale, so that works out fine. So get up to 11. That's going to be about where my top cut is. We'll fire her up and we'll cut this thing out. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm either on 2-inch scale or close to it at the start here, or something that I can divide by 1. So this number kind of stinks, but if I come down to 10.5, it totally makes sense. It's on 2-inch scale, so I'm going to start at 10.5 instead. Now I'm on my 2-inch scale. That methodology is going to backfire on me a little bit on this one. I'm not down low enough. So the scale's not really going to matter there. I don't want to drop 2 inches. I'm only going to drop 1, so I'm going to have to do 1 twice. And believe me, that'll be fine. So I'm going to drop, really they'll end up being 7/8. I'm going to drop to 9.5 and then 8.5. I'll take those 2 off. And the 8.5 one, whatever I cut, I'll make sure I'm back on 2-inch scale. And I can actually, I'll go the 1/8 and make this 1 inch. That looks like it's splitting it. And my next cut's going to be down at like 8.5 to get some usable little crafty pieces out of this. Put them red side down so they don't bleach out in the sun in 7 minutes. There's a lot of inclusions in this like this. I'm not going to show you right yet, but there's a bunch of inclusions. This next drop is going to get me most of the way through them, and we'll start to be in some cleaner wood here. Sure, this is taking a toll on the band too. But my next drop is going to be down to somewhere around 8.5, wherever my 2-inch scale falls there. And then we'll just drop on 2-inch scale right through the log. So that's at 8 3/8. Now we'll go down to the next 2-inch drop. This should be a decent slab. This one's at 6 1/4. This next one should be at 4 1/8. Yep. Make sure I clear my clamps. And we'll get a look at some of these slabs while I take them off here. Still going to cut the bottom one, but just get my scraper out, scrape them, take a look. Let's take this 1-inch one off first. Probably back you guys up so you can kind of see what's going on. I'll back you guys up over here. We'll just take a look at this one while I'm flipping it over, getting the sawdust off it. Pretty piece. Hopefully it shows up well on camera. Pretty piece. Split the difference, make sure I only have a little bit hanging off each side. Let's pull one of those other ones off. give you a look at it. When we get it over here, come back here. These are heavy, even though they're cedar. Pretty slab. Got rid of most of the bark inclusions. And we'll pull another one off here. These will all get put away here in a minute when you guys are gone. Cover them up with these pieces of pine. Another pretty good looking slab there. This is what they wanted. So when I drop down and mill this last mill pass, I'll end up with 2 more. And then what I'll do is I'll take some pictures of them, send them to them, so hopefully get them out here ASAP to get them before they start to fade out, so they can deal with the red, not me. I want to get my stomps down as low as I can get them. As low as I can catch a bite on this log. Looks like right there. I don't know if it'll stay there, but it's close. The same thing over here. Make sure that I'm below 2 inches. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a bite on it or not. All right, yeah, so that's like 3 down. So it looks good. I'll take one more pass off it here and throw these up there and call it a log. This should give them exactly what they're looking for. This next pass should be a 2. All right, as long as we don't run into our clamps, we're all good. Yeah, the good part is I can see the clamp. Stelicut band cut through this like it wasn't even there. Cut really nice, really smooth, really flat. Great feedback on that band. You get great feedback when you're milling. You can feel the band the whole time, which is really nice. Back you guys up just a hair so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you're still on. Yep, looks like it. Heat hasn't blanked us out yet. Oops, I just lost that way. That white one there. Again, no need to really dump water on it or anything. I mean, you can see, one thing about cedars, you can see how nice they are. Probably send them this video so after I upload it so that I don't have to take a whole shit pile of pictures. Now let's get that last one off there. And I'll shut you guys off, come around with the machine, take this out of here. Nice. So, Mechanix gloves. These Mechanix gloves, these are prototypes that Mechanix sent me to test out. They don't have a name for them yet. I wanted to try them because I was handling bands today. They sent me 2 pairs, different gloves to try out for them and give them feedback. These have some cool double reinforcement in the fingertips. They feel really durable. It's the first time I've worn them. The problem with them for me is that they're sloppy on my hands. They're a little bit loose, and I like gloves that fit like a glove and tight. But they feel like they're going to be really durable. And we will be trying these out as we go along here. I've already given the other ones a good run. I don't have any holes in them yet. They're still holding up great. There's our stack of cedar. Only took a minute. We also got our white cedar cant sitting over there. So when somebody asks me for some white cedar, I can cut it however they want it, rather than trying to mill it into boards. Now you see our red sawdust. I will get all these slab cuts out of here and into my craftwood pile over here. People come over here and pick through it and buy craftwood out of here. These will go great. Just want to make sure that you put the red side down so that they don't gray out really fast. They will buy all those. Craft people love cedar. I'm thinking about actually just cutting through my cedar pile and selling a bunch of it. I'm getting, last big order I got for cedar, I didn't have enough, and they wanted trim boards for a bunch of cottages, like 7 cottages. And I didn't have enough cedar to do it. He wanted big long boards too, like 18, 20 footers, which is really hard to do out of cedar because of the inclusions and stuff. You know, if you look at this slab right here, the top of the slab, what good could you get out of that for a board? Now I realize that this is, the top, but it's consistent. It's like this all the way down through. So it's hard to get, even out of a big wide one like that, it's really hard to get good consistent boards. That's why I hate cutting boards out of cedar, unless it's white cedar. Look at the white cedar right there on top. That's beautiful. You can definitely cut boards out of the white cedar, which is arborvitae, and the red cedar is juniper. It's not even really real cedar, but Yeah, I want to pump a video out today, so actually I got two. I think one of them is just not going to get really watched, but hopefully this one will. And if you have any questions, hit me up. We got company in town, so I kind of got to on call in case the wife needs me. They're staying at my mother-in-law's house, which is right up the street, because she has AC and we don't. And it's cleaner. So they're staying there, my wife and her friend, and I'm just hanging here with Danny. Danny's sleeping under the pickup truck. You can see his feet hanging out from the back tire there. He's got his water over there. He's got his dog bed and water inside the truck, but he wants to be outside. So he's hanging there. And I appreciate the watch. If you have any questions about Stelicut pens or Mechanix gloves or cedar or milling or what you should sell and what you shouldn't sell, it's one good thing about these gloves. They come right off your hand when you want to take them off. Hit me up. I answer everything back. Appreciate the watch. Like, share, subscribe. Go watch some of the channels that I hung out with at Norwood. If you didn't watch the video, go watch the video. It links to a bunch of different channels: Tony's Tractor and Red Tool House and Bearwoods Northwest and Sawdust Society and Pop's Barn. You know, check those YouTube channels out. Really cool guys. Good channels, much bigger than mine. I'm just a little schlep. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. This is Pirate Solutions out.